Hello, and welcome to the Diaspora platform, the show that brings people and the world together. You know, the world is a global village now, and we are all becoming one family. People travel around for various reasons. Some go for family, for love, for business, for whatever. And for that reason, a lot of people are scattered. But this show seeks to bring people who have traveled, left the shores of Ghana, gone out for greener pastures or whatever, and are back to stay or thinking about coming. And also others who are not even Ghanaians, but who have come to settle in Ghana to help rebuild this nation. So you see, the show is very relevant. And so for that matter, we have a fine gentleman in the studio. But before I share him with you, I'll take a quick break. Don't go away. Back in a moment.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home.
Welcome back to the show. This is the Diaspora platform. Let me take this opportunity to thank my sponsors. X-Water. X-Water is a natural water made just for you. You can find this in all the shops in Ghana. And also we have down here Ava Natural Virgin, Extra Virgin Coconut Oil. This oil is good for your family. Change your oil, save your life. It also stabilizes your sugar level. So if you're dealing with diabetes or anything of that nature, heartbeats and things like that, you need the Ava Extra Virgin Coconut Oil. And then we have here the almighty Emerton. Emerton says looking old is a choice. Emerton is a facelift in a box. You don't need to go under the knife any longer or be under the laser machine. Just get Emerton and you are done with your facelift. Gives you about 15 to 20 years back of your age. So I also want to say a big thank you to Walter Wood. Walter Wood Collections, that's who I'm wearing. Walter makes my clothes and he makes them so well. And thanks to Thessus Brushes for my looks. Thessus makes my beautiful face the way it needs to be. So in the studio today, I have with me a very big man, a fine gentleman, a very important personality, and he's going to share his experience with us. And for that, I want you to call your friends and tell them to tune in to the Diaspora platform. We have Mr. Akwasi Awuah. He is the director for Diaspora Affairs in the Office of the President. Yes, I told you he's an important personality. Mr. Awuah, you're welcome to the Diaspora platform.
Thank you.
Yes. I thank God that finally I've been able to get you here. I know that you have had experiences around life. And for my viewers, for most of them, this may be the first time they are seeing you or hearing about you. So I'd like to give them a little bit of you just to share your background with them. Who is Akwasi Awuah?
Okay, thank you
You're welcome.
so much. Let me take this opportunity first to say a big hi to all your viewers.
Okay. Hi. He said hi.
Hello. Yes, I'm glad you've given me the opportunity to come here to say a little bit about myself.
Yes.
Hopefully, what I do and what I went to and what.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. Akwasi Awuah, originally born in Ghana, lived in Ghana, schooled in Ghana, went to Opoku
Homeboy.
School.
Yeah. Real homeboy.
Yeah,
Opoku
yeah, Opoku School.
You're from Mosenkra?
Was.
Amanti Anase. Akatachie.
Yes.
Okay.
Akatachie, yeah. And when I left school, I had also an interesting sixth form education at St. Louis Secondary School, the girls' school.
Was it the first batch?
No, we were in the first batch. I was going after
A
some
few of
people
them,
had
yeah.
been admitted for the sixth form. So from there, and I went to University of Science and Technology. I did the data processing, computer science. And
So
stuff.
you are a typical Kumasi boy?
I'm a Kumasi bred and born.
Wow, which part of Kumasi?
I'm from Tech.
Okay,
I grew
okay.
up on the Tech campus.
I used to, your parents were?
Yeah, they were living there. So I was lived there.
I see, and you went there.
I went to school there and started playing around all over the place.
Wow.
University campus.
I'm surprised you didn't become a professor.
Perhaps I don't have the brain. Anyway, so after sixth form, I went to the university, and then after the university, I also did my national service there, incidentally. And then from there, I came to Accra. But interesting for me, and I'm always proud to mention this, that for a homeboy like me, Kumasi boy, I could speak Ghana.
Aye, how did that happen?
Yeah, because I used to play football.
Quite, oh yeah, why?
And Ali Kota no football. At that time, you had to speak the language to be able to get amongst the boys.
It's true.
Even if you want to pass.
And it also depends on which part of Accra you came to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but having done that, then subsequently I moved to Accra when I had a job at Electricity Corporation as a computer programmer. So I worked there for a while, for about 5 years before I left Ghana.
You said bye-bye.
Yeah, I said bye-bye after a while.
So. Wow. So what made you leave Ghana?
What made me leave Ghana? I think quite apart from the fact that it was perhaps more fashionable for everybody to say I want to go. I thought at that point too, seriously speaking, Ghana wasn't too conducive for some of us for political reasons.
Yeah.
Some of us have been politically inclined for far too long, and it was going to inhibit sort of the things that I wanted to do, the things that I wanted to get into.
So you kind of went into exile?
Yeah, more or less, self-imposed exile. For instance, at some point I was going to join the Ghana army, and I was wondering whether it was going to be the right thing for me to do.
Yes.
So the bottom line is I left Ghana eventually, and I went and lived in the UK. Perhaps it was also by the fact that just before I left Ghana, I got married.
Okay.
And my wife left first.
Okay.
And possibly,
So why did you guys decide the UK? I mean, among all the other parts of the world, why did you choose?
Because, I had some ties there, and my wife had gone there anyway. So I also went to UK.
Okay.
And I started life,
Abuchi.
It got to a point where I had lived there for so long. I'd even lived there longer than I'd lived in Ghana.
Yeah.
So it gets to the point, at that point, you think, no, I must go back home.
Yeah.
I was always looking for the means to get back home.
The opportunity.
To get back home. But, whilst there, I didn't live only in the UK. It got to a point in my career where I became a consultant, and I was all over the place.
Okay.
I went and lived in Sweden for 2 years.
Okay.
And then in Denmark for 2 years. And in Switzerland for 1 year. So collectively, at some point,
you're all over the place. Why those places? Is it because were you still in the IT industry?
Yeah, I was in the IT industry.
Okay.
In the IT industry, my first external, apart from the UK, was to go to Switzerland. I had a job, a consultancy job in Switzerland, and I went to work for Zurich Insurance.
Okay.
So whilst there, once you enter into that foray, you begin to look for other opportunities.
Yeah. So did you take your family around all that time?
No. Okay. I had a flat there. So normally on every Monday morning, I'll be on a plane to Switzerland.
Wow.
And then on a Friday, I'll be on a plane
long distance.
Shuttling up and down.
Yeah.
And when you do that, we say you live in a box. You live in your suitcase.
It's true. It's true. But those days, I think the mobile phones were not so
No, it wasn't
common.
They were just about beginning to be quite, important. And then most importantly, it was just at that same time that the Skype became,
popular.
Came on board. So with the Skype, you could live away from your family and still be in a position to talk to them. Have a chat, at least after work, you come back home.
Skype was so useful.
First thing is going to Skype and chat with your family and talk to them. I remember once there was a situation back home and I needed to fix it. I think something to do with the printer, change of cartridges.
Wow. So you did remote
Yeah, because I was
troubleshooting.
on Skype with them, I could do it.
Yeah.
It was fairly
But that's very common, you know, mobile troubleshooting or remote troubleshooting. When even in the U.S. now, when you have a product that breaks down, the first point of call is a toll-free number for them to troubleshoot for you.
Exactly.
Wow. So now
they
you
log on to your computer as from the remote.
exactly
Take over.
yes.
They are able to sort it out.
But in Africa, if the person doesn't come to your home, there's no.
I think we have a bit of mileage to go
To
get
go.
there. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I would like to think that perhaps it's been done in some organizations, because there are organizations here in Ghana and in Africa, for that matter, that are quite, on the level of what can be,
Yeah, it's true. Expansion is
exactly
taking place.
Like you said at the beginning, it's becoming a small global village.
I know, yes.
Everything is happening all over the place.
Yes. And we are all playing a role in that. We are making things happen. Yeah. So your family is still there, or
no, I'm here with my wife.
Wow.
The kids are still there.
I'm sure they are in
school.
school.
They are no longer kids.
Yeah, they're no longer kids. Wow. So tell me, when you were in the UK, when you got there, were you impressed with what you saw? Were you wowed? Were you disappointed? What did you experience when you got there?
I think for me, because again, the world had become such a small place, and you see things before you even really have the chance to see it. I wasn't so disappointed when I went there. I'd seen things that were similar to it already, even in Africa here. I remember.
Are you talking about movies or something?
No, not just movies. I remember when we were students, we went to Yamoussoukro in Abidjan those days for university games.
Okay.
And I bet what we saw in Yamoussoukro was just like any other place.
Okay. That place is a bit
it was
advanced.
world class.
Yeah.
So quite apart from that, movies too had sort of given you a window to all these places. So in a sense, I wasn't too surprised. But then you get there and then you realize that, the world is not as tightly knitted as you think. And then you realize that the African community tends to live separately and apart from, so then you begin to realize that, there's a little bit of catching up to do over there.
Yes.
The streets are not paved with gold.
Like we thought.
I was lucky. I got there first time, and straight away I had more like a blue collar job, white collar job. I had a teaching appointment.
Wow. So you didn't really hustle much.
I didn't really. And it was good for me because, it was a little bit like you're coming from Ghana. And you have a know-how in computers. And even those...
Were they surprised that somebody coming from Ghana knows computers?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was lucky, I was working with computers here.
Yes.
The one computers, those days.
Oh, God. NCR.
NCR.
Yes.
So when I got there, I had that knowledge, the know-how, expertise to do, get them to something.
So that was an advantage. That's why we like to encourage the youth to learn and exploit things. So now that you had settled there and formed a family there, at what point in your life, at what point did you say, is this something that attracted you, or at what point did you say, gosh, I got to go back home, I got to go back home? What is it that made that change?
Yeah, okay. For me, as I said, I was always itching to get back home. But then...
Even before you settled in?
Yeah, I remember, because I would like to say I had a good job before I went.
Okay.
So there was always that question mark as to, do you really want to stay here? What would be your potential if you had stayed back home? So, in between that, you begin to realize you are doing other things anyway. And there was an opportunity to further my education as well. So I did that. I stopped everything. I started school once more. I had to go back to school, started accounting and finance, and got into all sorts of things.
Really? And then after diverted?
I wouldn't say it was a diversion. For some of us, we knew long ago that accounting and IT was merging. I remember when I used to work for Electricity Corporation, I realized that the data processing was under finance. And I thought, wow, So that means that if I want to be the director of this finance, I cannot really have my way
Yeah.
because I might have to be an accountant
Yeah.
first. So that was the motivating factor to have an opportunity
Uh-huh.
to marry the accounting with the
Right.
finance, the IT.
Yeah, you see how the technology now is driving the finance industry.
Yes.
Yeah,
So that was how I saw it. That in the accounting, in the auditing, in everything, that those with that knowledge
yeah,
were going to be,
ahead.
ahead of the game.
Yeah. So did you eventually get into finance?
No,
Okay.
seriously, not finance like accountant or anything,
Okay.
but that background.
Uh-huh.
With that background, I also started, my master's program, which was also further into IT,
Okay.
accounting. That was business systems analysis and design. Just to be able to look at systems in their processes and see how best IT could be used to facilitate or to improve on program performance and business process, etc.
Wow.
And in the course of all that, I got stuck into one serious architecture,
Which
which is
is
the IBM insurance, platform. So, so that is how I specialized on the IT platform, the insurance platform, and then subsequently I started working with all the insurance companies,
really
from Alliance,
Alliance.
Alliance, and then I
Alliance.
went to work for Zurich, and then I went to
Zurich.
work for in Sweden. I went to work for Codan and other companies. I left, so I stayed in the financial industry, just
Oh.
concentrating on the IT
Alors, tu
platform.
parles
So
français? Tu parles un peu de
je
français?
ne, je ne parle pas
Beaucoup de français.
beaucoup de français, un peu, un
Un
peu,
peu, un peu.
un peu, un peu.
My background is in IT also. I did
Oh, okay.
information systems. Yes, and when I came into Ghana in 2000, 1999, 2000 with the Millennium Y2K issue, that was when my company also started. But so it's interesting that, when you get into IT, how would you classify the IT industry in Ghana since you came back?
I think I'm a little bit disappointed with the extent to which we use, IT or computers for that matter. It is still that kind of standalone processes.
It's not integrated.
No,
It's
I
not.
seriously don't find a lot of. The reality is that business process is just beginning to be processed to be, computerized in
Yes,
Ghana.
yes,
So,
which
for
has taken
instance,
too long
yeah, it's taking too long. So, for instance, if you take the what we call it, what they are trying to do at the
at the
port,
port.
exactly,
Yes,
that is beginning to be something that is applying the process of,
yeah.
using IT in the process. But hitherto is like, go and take this material, go and take this information, take it to this guy, let him process
Ah,
everything here.
yeah. Can you
And
imagine? So what
that's
was happening all these
oh
years?
yes. So that's something we need to catch up on. We need
Yeah.
in all business processes, we need to
Yes.
make sure that we can move from A to Z
Yes.
without
With a
necessary
touch of
with
a
a
button.
very little human interaction.
Yes.
Of course, then there's the impact that it might have on the job situation.
Yes, it's true.
But
But
then, just like in the Western world, there are going to be opportunities
yes.
elsewhere. We are going to create different type of services that would also, enable us to consume. Take on those who will be laid off or who will be
Yes.
displaced by the
Yeah.
computerization. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to take a short break here, and when we come back, we will speak to Mr. Wa Abebio some more. Don't go away. Back in a moment. Back in a moment.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Coming back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome
Welcome back, viewers. If you just joined us, this is the Diaspora platform, a show that brings people and the world together. I'd like to thank my sponsors, X Natural Water. I'd like to also thank Walter Wood Collections for my beautiful outfit, Tenaifa Group of Companies. Tenaifa Science, technology here, there, everywhere. Tenaifa Recruitment Agency finds you the right skilled people for your jobs, which are available. And also, if you're looking for a job, call Tenaifa Group, and they will hook you up. Tenaifa Properties, they will give you the home that you're looking for. In the studio, we still have Mr. Awuah Babio. He is the Director of Diaspora Affairs in the Office of the President. Can I call you Kwesi?
Yes, please.
Kwesi, you're welcome back to the show. We're trying to get people to understand that Ghana is able. Ghana is able, even though we are behind, we can do some catching up if we put our minds to it. So you were sharing with us your thoughts about the IT industry, how we could have gotten somewhere better than where we are. And I shared those views with you. I'm sure you've heard about the land department. The paperless thing. And also the Registrar General's department. I've been there and things like that. So
even the passports.
Even the passport office, you can now get it online.
So now it's beginning to,
Yeah, it's coming together. The digitization is coming together. How do you foresee that in helping and building the nation?
I think, yes, a lot of people need to have that trust in the system as a whole. And that is one means of fighting our notorious,
corruption
society. So I'm all for it. So for instance, even if you should take example, say DVLA, how best can they do things so that you can cut out
the third man or the middleman.
The middleman, and make sure that you get some smooth process, etc. So that is one major, advantage that we are going to get from this whole computerization of business processes. In another dimension, because it's also going to be, brought to the level of the international standard. Then we can get some synergies that we can have with other.
Can compete together with the other worlds.
External companies coming in to also operate in our environment and thereby creating the job opportunities for people here as well. So it's in the long term, I suppose that's the right way to go, and we should be doing well very soon.
Yeah.
We began from somewhere, but
yes, we indeed. I mean, with people like you and I and everybody who has put their mind to it that we want to bring change, we can do it. There's nothing that we want to do that we cannot do if we are united. So let us hear a bit about your current job. How did that happen, and how excited are you about it?
Oh, yeah, I'm really excited about it for the reason that, yes, it is a recognition of the importance of the diaspora in the nation building exercise. And I think the president, having lived outside himself, or even whilst he was living in Ghana, he would come and spend considerable length of time in the UK, is very much aware of what is happening over there, and how even he himself had the benefit of bringing what he had acquired from outside into Ghana. Most people do not realize that he was the first to bring the mobile phone into Ghana.
Oh, no, I don't know that.
Mobitech, yes.
Oh, yeah?
He was the president.
Okay. So, that turned into Tigo, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Millicom. Mobitech, Millicom, and Tigo.
And then all that technologies and
sort
of
nice.
DHL and all those things.
Really?
How to do those business in Ghana. So basically, that recognition that the diaspora has got something that they can bring back home is long established. I mean, you can take it as far back as perhaps even when we were going through getting our independence, where they had to call on people from the diaspora. Kwame Nkrumah was brought from the diaspora to say, come and help us do something here, So the diaspora community needs to be embraced. And it's in that recognition that this president said, no, I want something very close to my seat of government, which is, right in the house of
the presidency.
The presidency. So that's where we find ourselves. So yes, it's a privilege to be the first one to occupy this.
Set that up. You actually set the office up, right?
Basically setting it up and try to see how we get to engage the people in the diaspora. So the key document for me is the diaspora engagement policy, which is the basis for which the diaspora community is going to be brought in, engaged, and given the specific responsibilities. And out of every responsibility that you want to give to any group of people, goes with that handshake of what they also can get
Right,
from you.
right. Hand go, hand come.
Exactly. The diaspora community is waiting out there, eagerly looking to see how they can be part of the
Nation building.
electionary
Yes.
process, etc.
Yes.
How do they get a vote? The
Yes.
ROPA that has been.
I'm part of the ROPA, you know.
Exactly. So those are some of the things that this establishment of this office is making sure can happen, can be made to embrace the diaspora in the decision making, in the power. And people don't realize that the diaspora community through remittances send home more than 2 billion.
Wow.
Which is more than what the donor communities even give to Ghana.
A year.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
So now, if you think about it, if somebody is really playing the piper, then you should be calling the chief.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
And we don't really get to call the chief.
No.
So that's what this office is all there to do, to see how we can realize those ambitions, those objectives, that inclusion, that
Exactly.
how do we get included in. And sooner or later, the government also has it as part of its program in the future to establish what we call the diaspora bonds.
Diaspora
Bonds.
bonds. Okay, that we can purchase.
Them that can be purchased.
Nice. That's long overdue.
Exactly. Something like that would enable the diaspora, the capital from the diaspora to be harnessed for some specific
Wow,
projects.
that's
So
amazing.
there are so many things that we can do. And then when we talk about the diaspora, there's also the opportunity not just to look at those recent Ghanaians who live in the diaspora, but they're all embracing even those who had left Ghana long before.
Oh, some of them, they can't even come back.
Not even living ones who can come back, but I mean those whose parents were sold as
slaves.
As slaves.
Okay.
Now there's a whole lot of them from the African American
Yes,
community who are expressing the will to also come back home.
Yes.
You remember, this is going way, way back. How Kwame Nkrumah brought Du Bois to come and live in Ghana.
Yes.
Du Bois went to what do you call it? American citizenship and came to Ghana to came and established himself here.
Yes.
So that same thing is also sort of still going on. You get people who are willing to come back, throw away the American citizenship,
wow,
to come and live.
Wow.
So if you see that happening, then you owe it to yourself to say, wow, it's about time I went home to
Yeah. And so far, how are things going in the
so far so good
office?
I think that in any establishment of any office, there are bound to be the recognition, the inclusion. The first thing is to get things right fundamentally, the building blocks, which is by statutes and by other legislative instruments to establish the working relationship that one has to have with other government agencies.
Yes.
And also to make sure that the policy, during the last government's term of office, they were working on a document that has yet to be passed, which is the diaspora engagement policy.
Okay.
I'm all for it. Here's one opportunity for people to know that when somebody has done something in the last government, it can still be continued. So we are looking at making sure that policy will be passed to become an official document for engagement. It's the diaspora engagement policy. Consultants have worked on it, as in most cases they were owed money. They had to be settled. I've made sure that they've been paid.
Wow,
so
nice.
Now, yes, we are in a position to start, rolling again.
Has there been any stakeholder forum or anything?
There was in the past. As to whether it was adequate is the issue, and whether there's a need for a review.
I think
These
so.
are things that are technical. I would rather the consultants, have a look at it to tell us the adequacy of this policy and whether it needs to be tweaked here and there to enable us to work with it.
So does your office also work with embassies in different countries?
Yes, very much so. Already by the previous arrangements, in every country, in Ghana's embassy, we have what we call the diaspora desk.
I know, I heard that.
Yeah,
does it function?
It does, but it's one of the embassy people who is basically giving the extra responsibility of doing the diaspora sort of engagement. That, seriously speaking, if you should ask me, the new dimension that we are putting on this by this office is the fact that we are constituted by people who have lived in the diaspora themselves. So, and the political...
And that's the way it should be.
And the political will to drive it is therefore rather, kind of more, important for them.
Yes.
So from that perspective, I think we are making the office more known. In the first place, it has to be known for people to know the services that a government agency provides, that a government can offer through that. So that is what we are doing very well.
Our show is also setting up an integration center, Diaspora Integration Center. And I don't know if you have anything like that there, but if you do not, we could have a way of providing those services if you become need of those, because we have had people tell us that, oh, I moved to Ghana, or I want to move to Ghana, I don't know where to go for this, I don't know where to go for that, I don't know who to see for this. So we are putting up the integration center that will provide them even up to the last mile and guide them to the right personalities or right offices to acquire.
That's very, very
good. So just for...
In fact, just like I would say, yes, you're doing the right thing. What we also do on our part is to recognize that private initiatives in those directions, along those lines, and to see how we can also facilitate what they are doing. Because the bottom line is that we want our constituents, which is the people in the diaspora, to benefit from these, initiatives, these packages. So, for instance, even through the European Union agency, they also have GIZ, which is also doing something.
That's a German company.
Even though it's German, it is a European Union initiative.
Okay.
In fact, we had a seminar in the Brown Hafo in Sunyai specifically, not long ago, about 2 months ago. And they are looking at seeing how best they can, facilitate or help those returnees, who have come back to Ghana. And when I say returnees, that is not in any way meant to be derogatory.
but we are returnees.
Exactly, who has come back.
Diaspora.
For some of them, it is under forced conditions.
Exactly, I
Those
understand.
are the ones who really
need
that.
Yeah, some of them become psychologically affected anyway.
It's unfortunate some of them have gone out there. Whilst in this position, I've had the opportunity to go to Kotoka International Airport to welcome back home some people who had been deported or who were brought home from, Libya. And when you see the state in which they have come back, some of them, the stories are not that good. Somebody has gone with 2 legs, come back with 1 leg amputated, and it can be sad, all because they were looking to better their lives. And I guess at some point, when perhaps he was in a situation where he could remit, he was also remitting something back home. So when such a person has come back home, there's every need to also
support,
help them to,
So do you have a facility or anything?
I'm sorry to say that the office itself is not going in that direction of equipping itself to do something for them. What the office is good at is pointing to you where you should go, the right places to go and get. NADMO is there for something. We don't want to duplicate what NADMO is doing. It doesn't matter that now that they've come back here. Somebody is responsible for this. If somebody comes to us from the diaspora, he doesn't have his papers, he wants to do his passport, we are not going to do a passport. We're going to take him to the right agency to do his passport, to enable him to be able to have a traveling documents, etc. So that's what we do. We know which government agencies are doing the right thing. Somebody comes from the US, he wants to come and live here, he wants naturalization. We're not going to make sure that you get one ourselves, but we can point you to where, and we are not, when you say point you to, it's not like we just tell you, go there, that's it.
Oh, you introduce them.
We tell them to do what is facilitated us. Yes. So that's all we do.
Okay. All right, we'll take a short break. Don't go away. We're still talking to a very important personality. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Back in a moment.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back.
to the show. If you just joined us, this is the Diaspora platform, the show that brings people and the world together. I'd like to acknowledge my sponsors, X Natural Water. This is the best water that you can drink. Get it in all the shops in Ghana. And also we have here the almighty Emerton. Emerton is a facelift in a box. If you want to look as beautiful as I do, look 20 years younger, this is what you need. No longer going under the knife for facelift, just get Emerton. Emerton says looking old is a choice. And then we have the Ava extra virgin coconut oil. This oil is what you need for your family. It stabilizes sugar level and it's also good for your heart. So change your oil, save your life. I thank Walter Wood Collections for putting this beautiful outfit on me. And Walter Wood Collections is located at Awoshi in Accra. And Thessa's brushes took care of my face. Don't you like my face? She did that. Teresa, thank you very much. So back to the studio with Mr. Awuah Abibio. He's the Director of Diaspora Affairs in the Office of the Presidente.
Thank you.
Akwababio. So let's round up. Let's finish the show by giving people the opportunity to come back to Ghana. Amidst all the talk and amidst all the challenges and difficulties, there are some successes.
Yes.
Yes. Can you share with people a little advice or something that from your heart, even from the office that you occupy and from your own experiences, why they should come back to Ghana?
Thank you. Again, if anybody's been following right from the onset, they would know that there's that love for a country that begins to be something that you cannot suppress, and therefore you want to give back so much to it. And in that respect, following from our forefathers and earlier people who had made Ghana great, like what's it called, Tetekwashi, etc., Kwame Nkrumah, our first president, everybody should at some point look to see how they can look back or they can plow something back into the country and how they can be part of the development of the country. And if you begin from that point, you never know how far you can take it. So you could begin with by looking back, being interested in the country, and the next visiting often, before you know, you have fallen so much in love, you really want to. And then when you come to think of it, the world events are conspiring in our favor for people to come back home anyway. You take, for instance, what's happening in the UK, the Brexit.
The Brexit, yes.
You take what is happening in
the US.
And certainly you begin
look
to
somewhere
look
else.
like, hey, where is it? Even for countries that are very welcoming, like even in Germany, before you know, there are some extremist guys doing all sorts of things that is making you think again that, do these people, are they questioning where I really belong? Do I really belong here? Is there a place where I can go and really call it home?
Yes.
Where, no. And look, the fact is, we are all princes and queens and, living out there. And when you want to live like a king and be the whatever you want to be, you can only do that effectively when you're home. You can want to talk and bang your chest like, yes, this is me. It can only be done at home. When you put all those vanities aside, perhaps somebody would say, there's the reality of where you want to do something and be really
appreciated or effective.
Appreciated and be able to make an impact.
Exactly.
And then the challenge then dawns on you that, yes, perhaps I should be doing this at home. Let's take some, recent ones like David Ashesi, Patrick Awuah, who's done this Ashesi thing.
Yes.
Such a big impact.
Brilliant.
Done at home, made to, the whole world respects it now. Take Focus Hospital, what he's done. And the people who are coming into Ghana for medical, tourism, just to look after them. So,
and even the Diaspora platform.
And the Diaspora platform, the exposure that you are giving the people. So these contributions are, everybody shining a small light in their small corner to brighten, the whole country. And with time, when everybody's done it, and the opportunities that you give. Look, when you come home, in a worst case scenario, you are employing 1 or 2 people. That is also going to. And then again, I also talk about the cultural, the attitude that we are bringing back home. Some of which are very helpful and can also help go a long way to, in the offices, the working habits. Some
Yes.
of them are such that we can also influence the attitude to work. And these are all positive things that we can bring back home. If you take the field of sports, you take the field of entertainment, we've all had, experiences, people have had experiences that they've brought back home. You take this high life that has been transformed
To hip life.
hip life,
Hip hop.
that is making it,
Afro-pop.
danceable all around
Yes.
the world. So these are all influences that people have
Now,
experienced.
Azonto, do you know how to do that, Azonto?
I'm still learning. So these
Yeah.
are the issues that people should be looking at when they want to come back home and make a contribution.
Yes. Wow. So, well, any advice to the youth who are thinking that I want to travel abroad before I can be somebody?
I think yes, there's nothing wrong with that, that desire to travel per se, but then you should also be looking at what the elders are telling you. You don't need to go through the worst experiences that people have gone through to be able to know that this is good for you or not good for you. And I'm happy that the president has in my office appointed a youth ambassador who is also engaging the youth in that direction, even for those living out there in the diaspora, to communicate to them to say how they should also be embraced to come back home. But for those who are here and yet to go, especially for those who are going the hard way, going across the desert, I would say that should be a no. Because even for those who have gone via the major entrance through Kotokatu, or they still have some terrible experiences. If you're going by that hard way, I tell you, before you get there and try to get things sorted, you would have wasted half of your life. And that's when you realize that, no, you perhaps, you could have done something better for yourself. I've come back to realize that most of the mates that are left here have done very well for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes you feel crass and compare.
That's
But you said that the president has appointed a youth ambassador.
Yes.
Well, me, I'm appointing myself. I'm not waiting for the president.
Yes.
I'm appointing myself the ambassador of the diaspora.
Good.
So I will swear my own oath.
Oof.
I swear myself the ambassador to the diaspora.
And you have witnesses.
And I have witnesses here. And the presence of 2 authorities established. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
I want to thank you, Mr. Akwasi Awuah Apebio, for...
I think you're already doing what the ambassador should be doing.
Yes, yes, of course. So with your endorsement, I take office right now.
Thank you.
I thank you so much. I appreciate you coming all the way to be with us. And I know that what we have begun is going to impact lives and change lives. People are going to watch this and they're going to decide to come back. Because if you have done it and I have done it, after 28 years in the United States, I'm back home.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it.
Yes.
So my viewers, I thank you for staying and being with us. Anything that starts small does not have to remain small. You can always have a small thought, a small idea, let it grow and come into fruition. And let us see you all in Ghana coming to help to change and make Ghana a better place. Thank you for staying with us. This is the Diaspora platform. So next time, same network, same time, I will see ya. Blessings.
Bye.
You've been gone.